Now let's go ahead and create our search view model. So let's go to our search here, Command N. I'm going to create a new Kotlin class and call this books search view model as such. And let's not forget to attach the @health view model. And then we are going to inject in the constructor here. We're going to inject the repository. So private val repository, book repository as such. And let's not forget that this is indeed a view model. So I'm going to say view model like this. First thing I'm going to do, let's create a list. Actually, a var list is going to expect a list of item objects, right? The books, or the book object that contains, or the object that contains a lot of information about the book. And let's import our model item there. I'm going to say by mutable state of, like this. Don't need to pass anything. I'm just going to say list of. Okay. Let's go ahead and do some importing. Let's see. Mutable state, not set. State. Like this. Okay, we need to do some import. Our list, which is going to contain the list of books once we get them. Okay, so I'm going to create an init block here, which we're going to call load books. So we have some initial books, and let's go ahead and create that real quick. Load books is going to call search books, and we're going to pass a query here. Just say Android. And we haven't created a search book. We're going to create it right now. There we go. So let's call this query. All right. So what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to invoke the response because we've injected our repository. So we have access to all of our repository functions. That means here we will have to say view model scope. Okay. And then say launch, in this case here. And I can pass dispatchers to say that I want just default dispatcher, which means just give me enough highway lanes per se that I may need to run these processes. Okay, so first I'm going to actually check to see if query is empty. If that's the case, all I'm going to do, I'm going to say return nothing. So say return at launch like this. So nothing will happen, okay? Because we don't want to search anything if query is empty. This is where I'm going to say try. And let's finalize the catch. I'm going to have an exception here. It's going to be an exception type. And we'll deal with that. Because I know that the resource wrapper class has a lot of information about what's going on. So what I can say here, I can put inside of a when expression. I can say val response is equal to repository, right? Our book repository. I'm going to go get books and pass the search query. Let's pass query as that. And then in this case here, what is that I want to do? Well, I'm going to go say is, I'm going to look at a resource, right? This, we'll need to look at our resource T that we created there, right? If it's success, right, then we're going to run this code because you know everything is successful. That means we've gotten response, we've gotten something, right? Resource as success, we have some data. If that's the case, then, well, I'm going to say list, our list here, there, right? Set it to our response, which is a source wrapping a list of item. I'm going to say that data, right? Get the data. And I'm going to, since it's going to be nullable, I'm going to wrap it like this. Next, I'm going to say is again, because remember I'm inside of a when expression here. If resource that error, right? If that is triggered, then what is that we want to happen? For now, let's say log e.localized getting books, like that. Say network. Okay. I'm going to say else. In any other case, I'm just going to not add anything, right? In this case, it's exhaustive at this point. So if anything else, then we are okay. All right, so for our exception here, I'm going to say log D to say that I'm going to pass a message that says, you can just pass that E exception, get the message to string like this, network as well, tag. Okay, so we're having some issues here because we pass Android here. So that's why if you have over, it's going to say that value is always the same Android. It's okay. This is just for us to have something loaded first. So we're not going to make this private because we want to be able to access it at this point. So this is okay. So now that we have our book search view model, that means then we can go and look at the reader book search screen again and see if we can actually use the view model and get data. And that's what we're going to be doing in the next video.